President Trump has announced that he's withdrawing the United States from the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is an international agreement to lower worldwide greenhouse gas emissions in order to mitigate climate change. The agreement's goal is to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by having individual countries each pledge to reduce their own emissions. A 2-degree increase has long been considered a red line, beyond which increasingly devastating global environmental impacts, like melting ice, sea level rise, and reduced food crop yields, would begin to occur. Countries that sign on to the agreement will be required to present national plans to reduce emissions and keep the amount of their greenhouse gas emissions public and up to date. National plans are to be reviewed every 5 years and are expected to be made more ambitious, if necessary, over time to meet new emissions targets. It isn't entirely clear what happens if countries miss their emissions targets, beyond the fact that they'll be disappointing their peers in the agreement and that they'll be under pressure to do better. The Paris Agreement entered into force on November 4, 2016, after India and the European Parliament voted to join. China and the US officially joined the Paris Agreement on September 3, 2016. With Trump's announcement, the US will join Syria and Nicaragua as the world's only non-participants in the agreement. Syria didn't sign the agreement because the country is in a civil war that the United Nations estimates may have displaced 12 million people and resulted in more than 250,000 deaths. Nicaragua declined to enter the agreement because they believed emission standards weren't strict enough and didn't require enough sacrifice from wealthier countries with larger economies. The United States is the world's second largest emitter of greenhouse gases. President Trump's decision puts his administration at further odds with European leaders and leaves the burden of correcting climate change on the rest of the world.